Hello, everybody. This is Drew Thomas here, and welcome to the stream where we're going to be talking about, Universal Kids, which was originally called PBS Kids Sprout. Which, kind of think of it, we're not really talking about Universal Kids, we just talk about Sprouts, but, that's what happened to Sprout after, you know. So, I'm pretty much going to explain my nostalgia with it, as well as the history. So, sometime in, the mid to late 2000s, Hits Entertainment, Sesame Workshop, and a few other companies decided to merge together to create a very special channel called PBS Kids Sprout, which is the home of various nostalgic PBS Kids shows like Dragon Tales, Thomas and Friends, the Teletubbies, as well as some non-PBS Kids shows, but that was later in the era. Anyway, I remember I grew up in the era when they were starting to drop the PBS Kids Sprout name. Pretty much, they're trying to drop the PBS Kids name out of it, and yeah. What pretty much happened was I forgot where I was going with this. Okay, so some of the shows I remember watching on Sprout were they aired Super Y. They aired a few other shows like Play With Me Sesame and classic Sesame Street episodes, and they also aired Thomas and Friends. They aired pretty much every era of Thomas and Friends on that channel. They also had these segments, which is it's pretty much these segments where they focus on various subjects. Like there is the Super Sproutlet show, which pretty much encourage people to be active by being a superhero, and the mascots were Sporticus and Stephanie. I almost said Stepney, but that's a Tom's Friends character. Anyway, I grew up with Sprout a little bit. When we had cable at my old house, which was a log house, yeah, we had PBS Kids Sprout on it. It was a subscription-based service. But yeah, I remember the segments like the Sunny Side Up show, Super Sproutlet show, Sharing show, Goodnight show. It was all amazing. I liked the setup of every show pretty much. And they would air individual episodes from all these shows. Like some shows include Barney and Friends, The Wiggles, and Tom's and Friends. For some reason, they had Lazy Town. I'm not sure how they got Lazy Town, but oh well. They pretty much aired a lot of classic shows. Then they started making original programs like Just in Time and Noodle and Doodle. And they were pretty much shifting the focus less and less from Thomas and Friends and stuff. They did air Thomas and the Magic Railroad on TV, which was probably one of the only rare times it's aired on television. It does sometimes air on the Stars channel, but not as often probably. But no other channel has played Thomas and the Magic Railroad, at least I think. Maybe PBS Kids played it, but I'm not sure. Also, sorry if you hear shouting, but my brother is playing his game. So if you heard shout counting, that was my brother. That's 12! I'm sorry, I just had to do that. Alright. A week away? I wonder what we're a week away to. Better stay tuned, because I will talk to that very soon. I'll talk about that very soon. Anyway, Sprout was also the cause of, Cubo's death on NBC because they fired the NBC Kids block. A few of the shows that aired on Sprout aired on that block. Anyway, but they didn't air Thomas and Friends or anything else like that. In fact, around 26, I don't know when it was, but Thomas and Friends just stopped airing. It just stopped. So, and they were pretty much losing quality with Sprout. And so eventually they changed it to Universal Kids, and it started to drop in ratings because various kids did not know this was going to happen, neither parents. It was just an unexpected shift, and no one expected it. I haven't seen much of Universal Kids because we already canceled our cable stuff, and I believe we also got rid of Sprout. I'm not sure, but that was like long ago. But that was like one of the ways I could watch Thomas and Friends and, dare I say it, Caillou. Which, yes, I regret watching Caillou because of how it pretty much turned me into a monster, pretty much. Yeah. I definitely do not like classic Caillou stuff. Mainly from seasons 1 through 3. At least for seasons 4 and 5, Caillou became less of a brat and more tolerable. I mean, he still occasionally had some moments, but he wasn't like super bad. Okay, if let me just change my face first. If you don't know what happened, what he's talking about, so when I first met Mr. Greathouse at the WF&P, um, which I'm pretty much with talking about Universal Kids and PUS Kids, um, Sprout. So yeah, and yeah, hello, Drew the Thomas. Well, Thomas is the tank engine, but Drew Thomas is the conductor. And yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I spoke a little fast when I first met him because I was really excited, and he was like, "Whoa, whoa! I did not understand a single word you said." But yeah, I remember Sprout. They also aired a lot of more classic shows back then. Like they aired, like they, which I don't remember seeing this, but they aired Teletubbies, Dragon Tales. I don't know if they aired JJ the Jet Plane or not, but probably not, mainly because, well, they soon shifted to, well, another channel. Or, I don't know. Heck, it just stopped airing on PBS Kids. Does anyone know if JJ the Jet Plane aired on Sprout? Anyway, yeah. I do miss the days of watching Sprout as a kid. This was like back when I was in like third going into fourth grade. Yeah. Anyway, so what's happening one week? Well, I'm going to be paying a visit to Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri. And I'm going to be bringing my friend, or I'm going to be going with Wyatt. And we are going to be doing a vlog where we're going to be putting together a train layout and whatever hotel we're staying at. I'm not sure what hotel we're staying at yet. But yeah. uh, um, well, I'm going to be leaving March 12th, but Silver Dollar City opens on March 13th. And then I'm going to be there from March 13th all the way until the 16th. I'll be back home by the evening time of the 16th. Either that or earlier, depending on whether or not we're going to Silver Dollar City on Sunday. Huh. Well, you could tell Mr. Greathouse that I will just talk like this, like Flash from Zootopia. Imagine if I just, oh, you're going the week after that. Well, I think I'm not sure. I don't know for sure, but I think Show Me Coasters might be there. You'll find out if I have them appear in my vlog, which they appeared in my Fright Fest vlog, and I appeared in their vlogs. But well, it's a possibility I might run into a few other of my Six Flags friends there, because I mean, no one's going to want to wait a month until their first coaster fix. Which thankfully I'll be getting mine next week. Oh yeah, I heard the whistle. It sounds pretty amazing actually. Anyway, as soon as me and Wyatt talk tomorrow, I'm going to see what hotel his mother is going to be putting us in. Unless if it's just going to be, nah, I doubt it. So I mean, if that did happen, if they decide not to do the hotel, I probably wouldn't be able to come until the weekend. But yeah, cool. By the time you'll be in Branson, I'll be out of Branson. I'll be back home for St. Patrick's Day. I don't know if I requested that day off or not, but I don't think I did. So I'll have to make sure I wear something green. Otherwise, pinch, pinch, pinch. But yeah, I'm going to be missing Pi Day, and there won't be a PBGR anniversary stream. I might see if I could do like a Zootopia anniversary stream this weekend because the Zootopia movie has turned 9. So there's that. Then there's yeah, I'll be going to Branson the weekend after, which is this weekend. Next weekend I'm going to Branson. The weekend after I'm going to be going to yeah. There's also Indian Point, but that's more of like condos or cabins. They also got a campground. I do know that there's the Best Western that has a shuttle service to Silver Dollar City, sort of like what the Holiday Inn at Six Flags has. I'm not sure if it's like a bus though, but you know. Oh yeah, he'll be doing a live stream on the first train ride of the year, which I might be on that stream. Heck, I will be on that stream because I'm going with him. We're going on that first train ride, and we're going to be there come hell or high water. Anyway, I really hope the hotel we stay at is a good one. Because if we have a crappy hotel, then I might be going home sooner because I will not be staying super long in the crappy hotel that has like, you know, it really depends on what we have. I just hope that we won't have obnoxious neighbors, sort of like the ones from Zootopia for Judy's apartment, where it's like those two antelopes or whatever they are, and they just say, "You shut up! You shut up!" as they're just banging on the walls and stuff. They're still funny characters. I loved how they have a part in one of the Zootopia Plus episodes, which I got to see quite a bit of the Zootopia Plus episodes, which the ones I've seen were Hop on Board, the Real Rodents of Little Rodentia, Duke the Musical, and then I saw Dinner Rush. So the only shorts I have missing is The Story of Mr. Big and So You Think You Can Prance. But yeah, I thought Dinner Rush was a funny Zootopia Plus short. But yeah. I wish you could come join us too. I mean, we could use more railroaders who are big train enthusiasts. I mean, some of us are in the autism spectrum, but well, yeah. I know for sure me and Wyatt are, which autism is nothing to be ashamed of. If anything, autism makes people smarter. So why else do you think I know about, like, you know? Oh yes, Fire in the Hole. Man, I can't wait to ride Fire in the Hole again. That was a fun coaster. Oh man, it's nice to stop ball knobbers and also ride down hills, encounter a train, and get wet in the splashdown. It's also fun to quote the ride. There's don't throw that switch, the train's coming that way, bridge ain't gonna hold, bye bye. You know. Oh yeah, I had to look at those pictures that you've been taking. I love what you've been doing with trying to so I don't know if you guys know this, but Chase's Railway Lines is planning on making a model of Tommy G. Robertson. Not making a model, but retrofitting a existing model and turning it into Tommy G. Robertson. Which will probably take a few modifications for the funnel, some repainting, and also putting on some like sticker decals and stuff like that. Which I'm gonna snap a picture of the Six Flags tender of Tommy G's tender, that is, where it has the Six Flags RR on it, which I found quite a bit of pictures, but most of them have been either slanted or covered by bushes and stuff. So I'm gonna see if I can get like a full shot of the tender. I probably might have to get in line for Batman and, wait for the train to pass by, or maybe take a picture as it's I don't know. Because, well, I mean, I guess I could do St. Louis Station because that has a clear shot. Or I could take a picture of it when it's crossing the bridge and just do a close up. Like, I could stand in the spot where I stand at. Or I could just maybe take a picture from my video. Yeah, man, I love quoting Fire in the Hole. Some of the guys from American Coasters Enthusiast have been on Fire in the Hole too, and they've quoted it in my vlog. It's fun hanging out with coaster enthusiasts, but not as much as hanging out with railroad enthusiasts, because they are the best. We are railroaders united, and together we shall stand over forces of people who like to scoff and people who like to say trains are noisy. Trains are annoying. Red Flanders, you get back in here and put on your pants. I can't, Sadie. I ain't got no pants no more. The dang ball knobber stole them. Stole them? Now, why in the Sam hell would they do that? Or something like that. You guys will correct me if I'm wrong. I still have to go on it quite a bit of time, so I've only been on it twice, but that's going to change this coming week. I'm really excited for this, guys. I've never got to have like a Branson vacation like this in a while. Ironically, we're staying the same amount of days that I've stayed on my first big Branson vacation with my family, which we did Polar Express, Silver Dollar City, Dolly Stampede, the Branson Landing, and we also did this Celtic Ladies and Irish Tenor show, which was really cool. They did Christmas songs, they did some Irish tunes, but they also did ones from across the world, like they did some American tunes. And also some tunes from Britain, because they did Twist and Shout by the Beatles. Yeah. Oh, that is awesome. Yeah, you will definitely have to exchange the coal load and turn it into propane tanks. I bet you Hank Hill would love to ride the Tom G. Robertson. Yeah. The things I do mostly whenever I go to Branson are ride the Polar Express, go to Silver Dollar City, and shop at the Landing. Those are the ones. Those are the one things I always do whenever I'm in Branson, especially during Christmas time, because Branson is the place to be during Christmas. I also sometimes stay at hotels, although I'm not staying at Branson Hillside again. Which I've only stayed at like 2 hotels in Branson, and that was Branson Hillside and also this other hotel that was like, I remember I could see the Ferris wheel and the aquarium in the distance, but I don't know what hotel it was. But it was the hotel I stayed at with my band, and yeah. But I can't wait to see what hotel we're staying at this time. Hopefully it's not Branson Hillside. It used to be great. It used to have access to the pool on the other side. And they also had foosball and I believe air hockey and areas to roast marshmallows and stuff. But then they just decided to split it up and just make Branson Hillside a different, I couldn't agree more. Branson is the real place to be for Christmas. Why go to Disney World for Christmas when you can go to Branson? Also, I guess now I should tell you all the time where conveniently a King of the Hill episode that took place in Branson played while I was in Branson, and it was also the first time I seen that episode. The episode in question is called "The Bluegrass Is Always Greener." It focuses on Con's daughter Connie playing violin, and Con and Min want her to rehearse to become a concert player. However, she just wanted to have fun and do some bluegrass in Branson with Hank Hill and the gang. However, Hank was pushing Connie to, well, be a big time bluegrass musician, when in reality, she just wants to have fun. She wanted to go see a show about Yakov Smirnoff, which I've passed by the Yakov Theater a lot while I was in Branson the last time. I've never seen Yakov. The only shows I've seen in Branson were Celtic Ladies and Irish Tenors, and oh yes, I've seen the Christmas Chick-fil-A and Steak and Shake. Those are the places to be for Christmas. Anyway, the most fun thing to do during Christmas, in my opinion, is the Polar Express. We did it on a weeknight one night, and we got to ride the Polar Express, and then we went to the landing. It was pretty much empty at the landing, which felt nice because it felt a lot more roomier in the stores. The sad thing was there wasn't a Build-A-Bear Bluey, so I had to just stick with the Bluey I have. But however, on a lighter note, I did find a chili healer bag. But then when I came back to Branson to stay at the crappy Branson Hillside, Mark Branson Hellside, whenever I stayed at usually I do the landing, then the Polar Express, but last time I did the Polar Express, then the landing. And I also asked Polar Express, like, would you rather questions and stuff to my mom and my brother. And we also talked about what would happen if we got our tickets fully punched. What would our takeaway message be, like the characters in the movie? Mom would be like support or whatever. Tyler's would be, I think Mom's would be like family. Tyler's would be support, and mine would be honor. That's what Tyler suggested. He said my ticket would say honor, and that really made me feel emotions. I still feel emotions well up inside me whenever I think about that moment. That was probably the best moment I've had with my brother. He is a really awesome person, and I love my brother so much. He is one of the best brothers in the whole world, because he's my only one. But anyway, I got my second chance to get a Bluey Build-A-Bear when I went to stay at Branson Hillside. We first went to You're the conductor. Well, I'll tell you this. There's only one Mr. Conductor in town, and that is me. Conductor, I'm just joking. I actually want to see what this costume looked like, because it probably looks awesome. I mean, my question is, did you have the mustache, or was it just you had the hat, you had like a shirt or a suit, or Anyway, so I got my second chance to get a Bluey Build-A-Bear. We did some shopping at Branson. Although we mostly went along the main strip before the landing, we went to this leather store, we went to like this jewelry shop, and then we went to Dick's 5 and 10, which was hella crowded, but still a nice place to be. The aisles were small and crowded, but they were a lot of fun. But then I got my big chance when I walked all the way down to the Branson landing, and I went into Build-A-Bear to get my Bluey. I soon picked her out, and I waited in line for a while. Pretty much chatted with some of the folks who were waiting in line. And then when I went through the stuffing process, it was pretty nice. I did the whole stuffing process where they would ask if it was a gift for a family member or whatever. But as it was just something I wanted for like collecting and stuff. That is awesome. I have a movie accurate watch too. I actually use that for my Polar Express gigs, which are a lot of fun. Like whenever I talk about the pocket watch in the book, I actually pull out my pocket watch and I show it to everyone. Whenever I do a Polar Express event, I make sure to keep it as real as possible. And I felt like a celebrity when I went for that School Polar Express event. I felt like a freaking celebrity. Anyway, back to the Bluey story. When Bluey was finally stuffed, I did the whole heart wish process where I held the heart, made a wish, and I rubbed it on Bluey's toe because I totally love her, and I put it on her heart because with all her heart, and then I made a wish on the heart, and then she put in the stuffy and tied it up. Now, when Bluey was stuffed, I had two options. There's like huggable and squeezable, and then there's like um soft and fluffy. Which soft and fluffy was the way I went, and it genuinely feels like I'm hugging a cloud whenever I hug the Bluey plush. Like I'm looking for it right now so I can hug it because it's a really awesome Bluey plush that I have, and it's honestly my favorite Bluey plush. I agree. I mean, Thomas's 80th anniversary just happened, or is about to happen. So why not for next year, Silver Dollar City in Dollywood do a day out with Thomas? Where, well, I guess it really depends on the size of the tunnel and the weight of Thomas, because some well, I know for sure they probably can't do the Six Flags Railway because I don't think Thomas would fit in the roundhouse. I don't know, maybe there's tunnels, there's bridges, there's and plus, there's like I'm trying to get the okay from Hit Entertainment or Mattel actually, which they would use the Strasbourg Thomas dummies, obviously, which they do have narrow gauge ones. I know because Edaville had one, and they used it for Day Out with Thomas trips. But wait, Edaville's a theme park, so why don't other theme parks do it? Like Dollywood is operated by the Tweetsie Railroad, which does Day Out with Thomas, so my guess is probably licensing issues or something like that because Thomas is owned by Mattel and Silver Dollar City and Dollywood are owned by Hirschland. Although they did do a partnership with Chuggington, but um, that was short lived. I know this because I saw it on the news, and I also saw some Chuggington trains sold at some stores in Silver Dollar City. Do they still sell Chuggington tours? I mean, Chuggington trains, I mean? Oh my gosh, you were so lucky. You went to Strasbourg? Oh my gosh, I am jealous. I was originally going to go to Strasbourg last year, but my mom couldn't. She told me that she couldn't, and I was really disappointed. Because I was going to go to Strasbourg, Hershey, and Scranton. It was going to be a lot of fun. But we had to cancel it because, we didn't have enough money, and my brother's graduation was that year. Well, everybody, happy birthday to ZESG54. Also, I don't know if you guys, I don't know if I told you this, guys, but I figured out why Gregory Amicar 57 has the number 57 in his name. Because that was the original number for Lightning McQueen. And I was like, I can't believe it took me that long to realize. Anyway, I just went from talking about Sprouts to talking about Silver Dollar City. I'm gonna probably change the name of this. Yeah, I'm gonna change the name. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and change the name of this stream. Anyways, while I'm changing the stream, I'm going to change the name of it. Anyway. Because I mostly talk about Sprouts anyway. Okay, hopefully this happens. Oh, yeah, okay, there we go. Oh, yes. Oh, that is awesome. So my question is, which engine pulled your train? Was it 89, 90, or 475? Or was it you went to a day out with Thomas, or you went on one of the 611 days? Because they have quite a bit of engines that operated. But yeah. I know there's the Choo Choo Barn, the River Museum of Pennsylvania, Cherry Hill. In fact, Cherry Hill was one of the filming locations for Tatmar. I really wanted to pay a visit to all the filming locations for Tatmar, but never had the chance to. 30-minute mark. Okay. I'm hoping that when Wyatt gets his permit or his license, he and I can go up to Strasbourg together. I probably want to do that next year because, well, heck, that probably might be where I have my because 2027 is going to be quite a big year for me, and well, I soon or maybe actually I could go with, like Layla too. That is awesome. I am I I'm a little jealous, but I'm happy for you. You are so lucky. You are so damn lucky. I've also heard that they're apparently oh, that is awesome. Well, I can't wait to talk to you tomorrow, Wyatt. I hope we picked out a hotel, or you guys picked out a hotel. If not, then I guess I'll probably find out when the vacation happens, or as soon as I know when she when your mom books it. And I still hope that it's going to be a good hotel because I'd rather not stay at something crappy or sketchy. Because there was one time where I wanted to stay at a hotel that was near Six Flags, but they wouldn't let me in. So we tried calling several other hotels that were close to Six Flags, but they were all booked. So I had no choice but to stay at a Super 8 in St. Clair, which smelled of marijuana, and they didn't even have a good breakfast. They just had snack wraps or whatever. It was I haven't really, had the breakfast, but I've heard that it's not like anything major like the Holiday Inn at Six Flags does, which they have a whole breakfast buffet, but I really hope we get a good hotel. Otherwise, I'd probably be wanting to go home by Saturday or Friday evening. It really depends on how bad it is, but I don't think it'll be a bad hotel. I have the utmost confidence that we're going to have a nice hotel and we're going to have a lot of fun. And yeah, it might be Indian Point, which is like condos or whatever, which we're going to have like our own room. It's pretty much going to be like we're buying a house. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've heard about that caboose. That's like, in fact, I'm pretty sure it's like right across the railroad tracks from Six Flags, which is ironic. It's at this like Koa area. There's cabins and then there's the caboose. They also got a swimming pool and yeah. I mean, other places you can stay at. I mean, you could go to the campground and get a cabin at Jellystone, maybe, but I don't think they would have any open because, yeah, whenever it's a Six Flags weekend, hotels are booked, especially the Holiday Inn at Six Flags. James Ryan DeBranson. Jim will not go with us, but he might show up on Friday. Some might be riding up with Mom DeBranson. Okay. Oh man, you are one lucky dude. I can't wait to meet you when I actually finally get a chance to meet you. But yeah, if you ever want to try to find me, just look for the guy dressed as Mr. Conductor. When you find me, come up and say all aboard or hello. Oh yeah, that was where we were gonna stay. We were gonna stay at the Red Caboose when we were going on our trip. We were gonna stay at Red Caboose, but never had the chance to because we never decided to go. After all, like I was devastated, but at least I still have Six Flags, and plus I'm about to take my ultimate trip to. Oh yeah, you can come for that. I would love for that to happen. Okay, if you're gonna be there opening weekend, I hope to see you there. Chases, Railway Lines Productions, or whatever. Um, but anyway, I'm planning a big trip in 2027 where I'm gonna be taking a cruise to Hawaii, facing backwards. So, like, was it? I don't know. Wait, I kind of want to see what this bathroom looks like. Because honestly, that seems like a weird caboose to sleep in. But while the one of the best parts about Red Caboose is that it's like right next to the Strasbourg line, so you might get lucky and catch one of the excursion trains heading up towards Paradise. Why did they build it in the first place then? If the faucet wasn't even going to be above the drain, I mean, then it's just going to go all over the floor. Why would they build something like that? That's weird. Oh wait, maybe it's that the drain is on the other side and the drain is not like the drain's not above the yeah. I think I know what you mean. Oh, that is awesome. My question is, what train was it? I reckon it was probably either 90 or 475 because that's the ones they run the most. Although sometimes they might do diesel excursions, and during Dale with Thomas, Thomas pulls the train. However, this time he pulls up the Groffs and then he does the switch around there and he pulls it back there. Which and which first when Thomas did Dale with Thomas was anyway, the way they did Dale with Thomas first was that Thomas was hooked up to his cars. He pulled out the front so children could see him, and he would push them all the way to the area past Espenshade. And then he would stop in that forest area and then start heading up towards East Strasbourg again. But then in 2020, they had it to where Thomas does the full excursion where he goes to the back of the train, pulls it backwards with his bunker first. Then Thomas switches around to the front and he pulls it back to East Strasbourg from Paradise. But then in 2024 or three, they changed it to where Thomas goes to Groff's and then he switches around and then pulls the train back past Cherry Tree all the way to Strasbourg. I really can't wait for the Strasbourg Railroad visits that I might be doing soon. And I might go there with my girlfriend. Heck, I might probably do that in like 2028 or maybe I could see if I could do it next year. So I mean, next year is going to be my last year doing Drew Thomas, but yeah. Yep, Trevor, here we come. Trevor's one of the engineers, by the way. He's one of the engineers of Silver Dollar City. Yep, he's the one who drives engines like 504, 43, 14. I'm not sure what engines he hasn't driven, but I wonder if he's driven 76, aka Pinhead Larry. I did not know that. You can actually walk on the Strasbourg Railroad platform after hours and not, but there wouldn't be any trains running. I guess that is okay. I mean, at least you're not trespassing on the railroad tracks because there'll probably be guards nearby and while and while they keep the coaches parked at the station, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they keep the coaches parked and however for Dale with Thomas they have it to where whenever Thomas is getting ready for his run, they move the coaches onto a siding like the main passenger train. Then Thomas, oh, oh right, because the diesel probably does safety inspections and stuff, or maybe does some shunting. Heck, there's freight services at Strasbourg, so yeah, some sometimes they do freight. They haul freight. yeah, my question is, when will 76 be put back in service, and will she be put back in service? I hope soon because, well, you know. Okay, so it runs in the morning. Okay. I mean, makes sense. I mean, they have to get everything ready. So you can hear it inside the caboose. Pretty much, you can hear the train whistles and stuff. Because, well, that would be awesome. Like, you're just staying at Strasbourg, you're probably watching TV or something, and then you hear ding, 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 and then the chugging, and then the whistle. Like, I've seen videos of rail fanning at, like, oh my goodness. Huh. Hello, Johan. I hope things are going okay. I I hope things are going better for everything. I hope that conjunction's feeling a lot better and not, trying to get out our throats. But yeah. Which so far conjunction hasn't been given any more trouble now. Maybe because I've decided that, everything should be I decided that maybe we should be a lot more calm about how things are going because I'm gonna say this now, conjunction's actions aren't are pretty much harmless. They're not like super harmful. It's not like what Team Awesomeness have done. But yeah. No way. That is gonna be awesome. That is that's gonna be so awesome. That would be nice if 76 came back. Ooh, if it did come back by this year, the next year, Pinhead Larry could make a return in Drew Thomas. There may be new problems, but knowing you guys, I know that you guys can. I know that you guys will make it through it. Huh. So 475 was pretty much just stuck on the crossing or something, or maybe. Okay, so my question is, what were the passengers on board, or was it just the locomotive, or was it pulling a train or something? Or what's this as he was heading back or um, heading towards paradise? I really want to go to Strasbourg. I really do, guys. Strasbourg has been my dream place since I was a kid. I've always wanted to go ever since I first saw it on, well, 10 Years of Thomas. Well, actually, first Thomas and Magic Road, but I didn't know it was Strasbourg at first until when they finally clicked. Ah, my guess is that it was probably getting ready for. I was probably doing a little run to ease its axles and stuff. But yeah, yeah. I'm guessing they're probably getting it ready. Oh wait, I know what's happening. I think they were switching it onto the track, so that way they. I think they were switching it onto the track towards the station to pick up the coaches. Well, I'm not going to help fight battles because I am not a war. I'm not a war user anymore. If people are giving issues, I just ignore them. If people are causing drama, I just ignore them. Besides, I'm going to retire soon, so it won't really matter in like 100 years. Huh. I hope they don't change whistles. I mean, 535's whistle is easy to tell. Oh well, I'm not going to mind if they change the whistles, but I know I won't regret it because it's Strasbourg. It's the Strasbourg Railroad. It's literally Shining Time. No, the Indian Valley Railroad in real life. And there's also fun activities to do around the station too. There's like cranky cars, but that's mostly for kids. There's a Cagney, and then there's train shops that sell Ertl Thomas. And then there's like a Thomas the Tank Engine kiddie ride. And there's also, well, other fun stuff like sometimes have other fun things like that one motor car that's diesel powered and it's like a diesel rail car. But I think that's only for like special trips only. I'm not sure. One thing I haven't seen them do in a while was bring back the pumper car. Oh, yes. I might actually pay for a tour if I decide to go with Wyatt and my girlfriend. I really want to take my girlfriend with me pretty much anywhere I visit now because I love my girlfriend. Heck, sometime soon we might be more than that. But yeah. That'll be fun to hear. Getting to hear Joe's whistle on, well, an engine. That is true. Everyone will be doing the parts, but I will not. But if someone is hurting someone's feelings, then I just, Well, how about that? I feel like I feel like Strasbourg helps a lot of railroads. Heck, sometimes I get the feeling that maybe, just maybe, they might be helping Six Flags secretly. But I'm not sure. I might have to ask Jerry if he knows anything about Strasbourg. He's one of the engineers at Six Flags. I can't wait to see him in a month. Yes, one more month until Six Flags opening weekend. I am so excited. The Cave. Yes, we need to do Marvel Cave. I just hope that a bat doesn't attack me. They do help lots of railroad lines. They help Disney. They help Silver Dollar City, like Wyatt has said, and it was also mentioned in a video that Silver Dollar City, or that Strasbourg has helped Silver Dollar City with a few things. But I wonder if theoretically they might be secretly helping Crown Metal products. But mostly the operations are done by Tweetsy, which they're the ones who repair driving wheels and coaches and stuff for the engines at Six Flags St. Louis, Kings Island, Busch Gardens, etc., etc. I'm hoping that next year I might be able to get like an all parks passport and do a visit to Worlds of Fun. Heck, maybe while I'm up towards Strasbourg, I might go see if I can go to Mason, Ohio too, so I can go to Kings Island. So I would love to master the coasters there. I wanted to see the world. I feel like Thomas. I want to see the world. I do like making people happy, but I feel like there's other ways of making people happy, like making them laugh when they're feeling sad. Of course, I'm not going to be like, yeah, I know Tweety helps Worlds of Fun because they have a Crown Metal locomotive. Like, I have a feeling something even crazier is going on because, well, what if maybe the WFMP has help from Strasbourg? They have a miniature locomotive. Maybe Strasbourg helps. No, I don't think so. I feel like WFMP does. I need to pay a visit to a lot of railways. Oh my goodness. And I'm taking my girlfriend to pretty much most of, if not all of them. Although I won't be able to do a lot because, well, pretty soon we'll have our own place and we'll have to worry about like bills and stuff. Strasbourg helps with the WFNP. Strasbourg helps with the WFNP. I think Strasbourg helps with the WFNP. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That means I'll be working for a partial Strasbourg operated property. Whew. I wonder if Mr. Greathouse could put in a good work for them for me to become a conductor or brakeman there. I could be a real Mr. Conductor at the real Shining Time. The possibilities are endless, baby. The possibilities are endless. They are endless can be. And I am beyond excited. Oh man. When I become a volunteer at the WFNP, I might start working for real railroads like across America. Heck, my my mom, no, my sister knows a teacher whose husband works for the Union Pacific. In fact, they got me this cool Union Pacific hat. You've been to a lot of railways, you say. I might have to quiz you on Discord on what railroads you've been to. Well, not quiz you, but I might have to list off some railroads and you tell me if you've been there or not. But so far, you've been to Great Smoky Mountains Railroad, Strasburg Railroad, Orange Blossom Cannonball, Grand Canyon, Monte Carlo Railway, or Monticello, I don't know, and a railway in Iowa. Well, have you been to the railways in Colorado? There's a lot of trains in Colorado. Or have you been to the Tennessee Valley Railroad? Because I got to pay a visit there. I went to the museum. And I also visited the Midland Railway Historical Association for Day Out with Thomas. I've heard about them. You've been to a bunch, you don't remember all the names. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. Looks like we've been to quite a bit of railroads. The railroads I went to, I will list them to you now. But first, awesome. Have some fun at Sky Zone. Jump around and try not to break your neck. Anyway, back to subject at hand. Here are the roads I've been to. Some unknown railroads in Michigan. I'm not sure if I've been to much. I think I might have been on a miniature railroad in Michigan. I remember it vaguely, but I don't know 100% for sure. I've been on that railway, yeah. But okay, I've been on the Iron Mountain Railroad in Jackson, Missouri. Which you've seen that video probably of me getting my birthday spike, me encountering the Jesse James gang, and also, but however, the mystery is still around what happened to video number 7, what happened to video number 7 in between the area in the western town and also coloring book contest winning. For part 7, it was us singing "I've Been Working on the Railroad." I agree. All three of us, me, you, and Wyatt, in a Discord call. Chase is Railway and Lines Productions. I'll probably just call you Chase. That'll probably be easier. Yeah, Chase would be easier. Anyway, let's see. I've been on Iron Mountain Railroad, like I've said, the St. Louis Iron Mountain Southern Railway, as it's called. Let's see. I've also been on the St. Louis Zoo's Emerson Line Railroad countless times. I've been on the Six Flags Railroad a lot. I've been to the WF&P. I've paid a visit to the Arborway TT Northwestern Railroad a year before it closed. And I also did what else did I do? I did a Dale with Thomas while I was in Kansas. And that was for one day. I went up to Kansas for one day to meet Thomas the Tank Engine, took a ride with him and Percy, and then I went to Fritz's for a railway restaurant. Blech. I've also been in Union Station, but I didn't go on any trains. Heck, that whole day when I was up in St. Louis, I didn't go on any trains, period, because I was mostly focused on filming, and my mom wanted me to focus on filming. Cool. I actually tried to get to the locomotive, but the engine area was hot and loud that I was breaking down in tears because of how loud and hot it was. It was a sensory nightmare. And it probably would have been... And I was pretty devastated when my sister made it up, but I didn't make it. But nevertheless, I still had a fun time. A fun time at the railroad. Let's see. what are the roads? I've been to the Tennessee Valley Railroad, but I didn't go on a train. I looked at the museum. I've been to the National Museum of Transportation. Uh, let's see. I did do several pumpkin patch train rides, although those don't really count. There's that really lame one at Pete's Pumpkin Patch. At least they actually have a locomotive, but the train ride was lame. It just went round in circles. If I wanted to do that, I would just go to Six Flags St. Louis and ride the Shazam Scrambler. Why not have it just go around a cornfield or whatever? Just don't have it just go around in circles. Otherwise, you're spinning me right round like a record. Do a barrel roll! Oh man, I need to say that when I go through the barrel roll section of Outlaw Run. I'm going to say, do a barrel roll! Here's a little fun fact. You should definitely try Google and do a barrel roll. See what happens. Yeah, you guys should try Google and do a barrel roll. Just watch what happens. It's awesome. You should also try Google and the cha-cha slide, and then you'll see something else amazing happen. Just hopefully you don't actually Google the Chop Chop slide from the Insane Clown Posse. I've listened to that song. It's actually hilarious. Anyway, I've let's see. I've been on the Incline Railway in Chattanooga, which was a funicular railway, and it had this train that would carry people. It was this train that carried guests all the way up to the mountains, and that was back when I was still trying to adjust to roller coasters and stuff. It was really scary going up it, but now today I would probably be hoping that the cable snaps so we can just fly down the hill like a roller coaster. That wouldn't happen. There would be brakes I would immediately click on. It probably has the same system that like Six Flags has, where it has those like special grooves that a bar stops the car in from rolling back. I've actually got a closer look at the rollbacks and Screaming Eagle. It was pretty cool seeing them up close when I was touring around Screaming Eagle. One of the greatest days of my life. Oh yeah, Blazing Furious getting their splashdown back. Of course, our Amazing Fire in the Hole still has a splashdown. Ha 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 ha. And it always has had a splashdown. And I'm excited to hopefully go on Mystic River Falls and American Plunge. Those are definites when I go there. Heck, I might do American Plunge after I get my final coaster credits on Wildfire. Although I might do Grand Exposition. And let's just hope that for this time for Wildfire, I won't have to sing this.
Joy to the world, the ride was closed!
Oh, that never gets old. Freaking love that day. That was one of the greatest days of my life. Anyway, I guess that's pretty much all I have to say. So, my railway bucket list is Strasburg, Colorado trains, Kings Island, that's also on my bucket list. Disney World and Disneyland. Or no, Disneyland, because I'm going to be up in California whenever I go on my cruise. It closed right after you got off. Only one thing to say.
Joy to the world, the ride was closed!
What if that was the same day that you went? Probably not. Yeah, if it's like really cold, then it's probably not gonna be open. Although I have been watching the Silver Dollar City tour video, and they said it's not the water rides aren't a popular ride whenever it's cool and stuff, which says that they're open, but not a lot of people go on it. So they could be walk on, although we'd have to worry about freezing to death. Hypothermia, baby. Anyway. Ah! I turned it into a circle! Actually, I like this. Circles. We become circles. I like this. Now, this looks amazing. Sunday. Yeah, I have Sundays off. I could probably do Sunday. Heck, not probably. I will. Although, Sunday's my sleeping day, so you have to call me early in the morning. Because I'll probably be asleep. Anyway, that's all I have to say for the stream. So, it's a shame for what happened to Universal Kids, but Not like I cared about Universal Kids. I mostly watched Sprout. I'm more devastated on Sprout being changed than stupid Universal Kids. Universal Kids just felt like a boring generic channel with nothing interesting but just Netflix series and stuff. But yeah, nothing interesting. Like, I could probably do better. Anyway, so subscribe to my channel and also subscribe to Mr. Conductor Chat. Because it's called Mr. Conductor Vlogs now. Or Mr. Conductor's vlogging channel. I think so. I don't know. That's why it's gone. Oh yeah, because no one cared about Universal Kids. It was starting to drop in viewership, and so they had no choice but eventually to close it down. Then also, there isn't much people using cable nowadays because of, well, the uprising streamings. So yeah. Anyway, that's all. Subscribe to my channels, and we are done. Woohoo! We made it. Although I feel like something is missing. Oh wait, this. Okay, I'm done. That's all for this video. This is Drew Thomas signing off. Good night, and pickles suck.